Because of how much I hated the Percy Jackson show, you might be surprised to find that this leaves me with complete benign indifference. So it was revealed a few days ago that the Kane Chronicles movie trilogy that had been planned on Netflix for about 3 or 4 years by now has officially been scrapped. And this comes directly from Dick Riordan himself. Now, I don't really know what to think of this because if you're wondering what I thought of the Kane Chronicles books, I never read them. I did not care enough to read them. I stuck with the mainline series with Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, and then gave up on all the other spin-offs when I realized that they were just political garbage. I couldn't finish Magnus Chase. I barely got through the first Trials of Apollo, and gave up on Magnus Chase right after starting the third book. I don't even think I got halfway through that. I don't even know if I actually finished the second book. I think I just convinced myself that I did just to get it over with. And no, I haven't touched that piece of shit called The Sun and the Star, or whatever it is, one with Nico D'Angelo and Will Solace. And no, I haven't read the new Percy Jackson books, although from what I've heard, it's not only bad, but the most hilarious part is that he avoids giving any descriptions of the characters to try to justify his casting decisions for the TV show. That's embarrassing. So this trilogy, I believe, was announced back in 2020, even before the Percy Jackson show was announced. And I had kind of forgotten these movies were even in development. Like, this kind of went the same route as Chronicles of Narnia 4, where it was just in production hell for so long that I just kind of forgot it was even trying to be made. And apparently they were still actively working on scripts when this was shut down. And why was this shut down? I don't really know. The only explanation the only thing that was said by Riordan is that it was put in turnaround, which in Hollywood speak means we are no longer interested in making this and are open to selling it to another studio. But there's an asterisk over this because they would have to cover the pre-production costs that they've already spent on this before actually making anything. So I don't see a studio really wanting to do that, especially from how cheap movie studios have become. I honestly don't see Disney even trying to adapt this, because I know that the garbage heap known as Perry Johnson and the Wokepians is getting a second season, and I've seen all these numbers about how great the streaming numbers are for season 1, and I've never seen any proof of this. All we've gotten is Bob Iger's word, and then all the other shill sites trying to back him up. I've never seen them actually show any proof of these numbers. But regardless, I don't see it going much further because, especially in the second half of the show, viewers really started to fall off. There was a major drop in viewership that Disney does not want to admit, and other people saw it too. Like, I've seen comments on my videos and posts and everything talking about how big of a drop in viewership there was. Hell, and a lot of fans kind of fell off the show, particularly around episode 6, the Lotus Casino episode, because my sister was very stubborn about it. She was trying her damnedest to like the show. She really was. But by episode 6, when the Lotus Casino episode happened, she's like, nope, this is crap. And the same thing happened to my brother. He was trying his hardest to convince himself that the show was good, but as soon as that episode came out, he's like, no, this was not good. And it wasn't just the episode. He's realizing, like, no, the other episodes weren't good. I was just convincing myself they were. And episodes 7 and 8, they both hated as well. Now, I was never fooled. I knew this was going to be crap from day one. Not even just with the casting. As soon as it was announced, I had a feeling it was going to be awful, because Riordan had his grubby little fingerprints all over it, and he hasn't written a good book in, like, a decade and a half. Honestly, I think the last book of his I can even consider decent was Mark of Athena, and that was, 2012? And like I said, I never read the Kane Chronicles, and honestly, I don't see any studio taking a risk on this, because this is one of the lesser-known Riordan properties. Like, I've talked to people who like the mainline series, and some of them have no idea what this is. They have never heard of it, and again, I've never read it because I didn't really care enough to. I just didn't want to read them. And even though I own them, I've just never read them. But, well, I should say my parents owned them, because they came out while I was still in middle and high school, or maybe it was just middle school. Doesn't matter. Actually, no, those came out in elementary school. But I digress. Not the point. Point is, Netflix has officially just said, nope, we're done. We're washing our hands of this. We don't want to do this anymore. And I don't see studios like Disney taking a chance on this, because these will not draw in the big numbers that Percy Jackson did. Honestly, I don't even see the Percy Jackson show getting past. I would be shocked if it got past the second season, and I would be 100% just, like, flabbergasted if it got past a third. I don't see it getting past this. From most people I talk to, most people I see on the internet, most people fell off the show. Ones that were liking it all just kind of fell off because they realized it was crap. And most seem to agree, at least the ones that aren't the big shills that are trying their damnedest to cover for the show's shortcomings, they seem to acknowledge, like, I don't see this getting past the second season. A lot of them were surprised it got past the first. But that's the model of Hollywood nowadays. All the crappy political shows like this and Halo and Rings of Power, they all get a second season, but the good shows that are made, which aren't that many nowadays actually, they either never get a second season or they take like 4 years to come out. And honestly, by that point, most of those get canceled by then anyway, even if they were renewed. So, yeah, what do you guys think of this? I don't give a shit about the Kane Chronicles. Honestly, I hope Percy Jackson gets canceled after 2. You already know this. And if you notice the Golden Bronx tier nominations that I posted today, you'll notice that it's kind of cleaning house in terms of nominations and votes already. So, we'll see what happens with that. So, that's all I got, and I'll see you next time.